My leg has a penis.
And this is... Wait, hold on. Your leg has a penis?
Yeah.
So, is it your regular penis? It's just beside your leg? Or is it an extra penis?
Extra.
Okay. That being said...
My left leg has a penis.
Episode 30, and we're starting off with that because this is Dirty 30.
Dirty 30. My right leg has a vagina.
Your left leg has a penis and your right leg has a vagina?
Yeah.
So you can go really fuck yourself.
I could, except the only problem is Yeah?
This is ready.
Alright. I'll be a little bit.
You're gonna be a bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna eat some food.
Yeah.
Food's good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mama's house. She's making us some lasagna with cannelloni insides in the middle there. It's like a great concoction that is almost as great as the penis on one leg and the vagina on the other leg, except the only difference is the vagina's on this side of my inner thigh, of my outer thigh, and the penis is on this side of my inner thigh, so they actually can't fuck each other. It's like having a rib cage and trying to suck your own dick.
You should just go to yoga. You'll figure it out.
True. Get my
You-
chakras all
Yeah.
fucking balanced
You
and shit.
go to yoga long enough and you'll be able to figure that out.
Yeah,
And like,
true.
food is our sponsor, and
Food?
food is one of our sponsors.
Food?
Yeah, because like we're gonna eat after this.
True.
So food is a sponsor. Then we got East Coast.
East Coast lifestyle. I
Yeah.
don't know if they would actually support the nonsense we talk about on this podcast, but they sponsored me on a music tips, and now they're sponsoring the podcast.
Right on.
East Coast lifestyle.
Then we got two brands that are probably like two of the best brands that's ever come out of anywhere.
Yeah, Trojan Magnum.
No. Black sauce. Black sauce. We've been doing this podcast for how long? And like, have you been on the low buying fucking Trojans? On the low, have you been buying Trojans?
Fuck
like,
no.
Okay.
Fuck no.
Now we got Breaking Records and
No condom.
Eddie Jizzle TV.
Eddie Jizzle. That's what it'll do on your
Um,
face. Yeah, I just farted. It smells. I'm just warning you.
And
That's
like
fucking nasty. Holy shit.
and socks.
What the fuck did I eat?
Yo,
Cocaine.
I'm always buying new socks because like it sucks jerking off with old socks. Like they get hard. Like, you want a nice soft sock when you're jerking off.
Do you though?
I do.
Oh, there they are.
Why, you like the fucking crusty socks?
I just like coming in crusty things.
Okay, I like
Wonderful.
I like the softness. I like it to be smooth like butter.
I like it to be like 3-day-old stale pumpernickel bread.
That's how you get scabs on your dick.
Like when Jason Biggs fucked the pie in American Pie, I was like, yo, take away the filling and that looks like heaven.
I was like, that feeling is what makes it.
I don't know, I feel like Eugene Levy is what made it. or the two scenes where the Yeti's in the background. You ever catch those? When at the party and Tara Reid and the kid are about to break up, and then you just hear someone in the background go, "Yo, dude, he took a shit in the bathroom. It smells like a fucking Yeti." And then there's another scene, I can't remember what's happening, but there's a guy who's just like, "Yeti! I am the Yeti!" You just hear that in the background, like, man. Those are the two best parts of the movie.
Yo. So, do you believe in ghosts?
I believe in Ghostface.
You believe in Ghostface? Yo, ever since you said, put that one verse with Cormega, I went to listen to that like mad times.
Yo, it's fire, right?
Yeah, mad times.
It's like literally Ghostface's like illest verse.
Yeah, like, and you said you weren't even too big on.
I'm not huge on Ghostface.
I like a lot of Ghostface shit, but like that verse right there, I was like, woo!
It's fire.
Yeah. But yeah, I believe in ghosts.
We'll see. Back on the Ghostface
But I
thing, though.
ain't scared of no ghosts.
True. I just heard a song that I'm pretty sure was off the Ghostbuster soundtracks. holy shit. Bobby Brown, Control, fire.
True.
But then like 2.5 minutes in the song, he says something to like a Ghostbuster metaphor. But then like 2 lines after, he references them again. I'm like, is this off a fucking Ghostbuster soundtrack or something? Like he said something about like catching a ghost, I'm pretty sure, or something. I'm like, what? I was feeling the song though. I was like,
Yeah, with the amount of
like,
drugs, like that might be some drug talk.
nah, I feel like maybe. Bobby Brown is prime as fire.
Yeah, I believe in ghosts.
Um,
And like,
I'm on the edge. Like, it's like everything else though. Like, what is a ghost? You know what I mean? Everyone views it as something different. Like, I believe. Like, do you believe a spirit and a ghost are different?
No.
She's eating it.
So if they're the same thing, then
Or just tell Lindsay that Princess is eating it.
you should probably close the door.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I didn't put the mic out.
For ghosts, like I think like my buddy Tony, we used to like chill at his house in Eagle Place, and like every night, like 1 o'clock in the morning, his house would get like fucking cold. It didn't matter like what time it's like year it was. 1 o'clock in the morning, it would get cold for like 10 minutes, and you'd hear creaks on the fucking basement stairs. That's why like and like even like we were on drugs and shit like that, but like we're hearing the same thing.
You just said the biggest part of the story so nonchalantly. We were on drugs and shit. I think people specifically like, yeah, we were sniffing a couple lines or like something. Like, you're legit just on drugs and shit. You're like, yeah, we were like tripping the fuck out. Like,
But like it was like it happened like multiple times, like around the same time, and like even like.
do you ever realize that
like, other people were
sometimes
there?
in life when you're looking for things, you find reasons to find them?
Dude, I could see my breath in the fucking
No.
place. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nah, man. I don't know if I believe it. Do it sober. Call him up and
He
we'll
doesn't
go
live in
to...
the same place no more.
Well, let's find who lives there then.
Okay.
What was the address?
It's like right on Erie Ave.
We should go knock on the door and be like, were you aware that your house is apparently haunted? We would like to come in and film a podcast at 1 in the morning.
That'd be so fire. That'd be so fire. Imagine if they let us do that. Like, yo. And I'd be like, yo, asking the ghost questions and shit like that.
But, yeah, I don't
But honestly,
know.
like, I don't know, like, since then, like, even, like, you said, like, it was, like, a sense, like, of, you know when, like, you feel like somebody's in the room, but, like, there's nobody in the room?
Yeah.
I even feel like, I felt that at different houses and shit like that, like.
You know what? See, I believe in spirits. Like, as far as, like, ghosts that can, like, manipulate things. Like, see, I don't know. Like, see,
Even, like, but I'm saying, like, even sober, other houses and shit
Yeah.
like that. I've been in a room and I, like, or in different houses and shit like that, and I felt like every time I'm like certain friends' houses or whatever like that, I felt like every time like I was in a certain room, I felt like even though I was in there by myself, I felt like somebody was there with me,
yeah.
and like I don't know, you just get that vibe like somebody's around,
Yeah.
and that's probably the biggest reason why I believe in ghosts.
Well, a big reason I do believe is because a family member of mine who would have no reason to lie about any like thing like this, like, you know, she's like a close relative of mine too, like, you know, like, and she's told me some stories about like an old house she lived at and like shit was fucked, and like just those stories alone make me believe. As far as my personal experiences, the only thing I ever experienced, like, have you ever heard when they say like when you lose a lost one, or when you lose a loved one,
Yeah.
like they'll try to connect to you from the other side by like leaving dimes in your path.
Dimes?
Yeah,
I haven't heard that
but
one.
it's dimes, and I don't know like the reasoning behind it, like maybe the material it is, like the force of like the magneticness and the smallness of like how like light they are, but either way, and like when we had a couple close family members pass, like me, my mom, and my aunt, all like continuously kept finding dimes for like time from like different like when like a couple different people passed,
Yeah.
and like Like, my aunt at home, I'm pretty sure, has, like, a jar full of all these dimes she's found. Like, she's never spent them. Like, I just spend them. I put them in change collection and shit. I'm just like, but, like, so I'm like, whoa, trippy, another one. You know what I mean?
I never heard that
My
one
mom
before.
found a ton. Yeah. But, so, like, that's, like, my only real experience I've ever had. Because, like, the amount of random dimes I would find in, like, random-ass places, too, like, almost like they were just meant to come into, like, your path. You know what I mean? Like, it just... That part was weird, but, see, I don't know what I believe, though. Like, I believe we have spirits. Like, I believe, because, like, there's an energy side to us that we don't even, like, think about. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
We think of everything as science because that's how we're trained and conditioned to think, but there's an ancient way of thinking that's deeper than science.
It's almost like
energy.
Like, you know, like I was saying, like, the vibe of a room. Like, even, like I've been in, like, places, like I said, like, and there's a vibe of, like, somebody's in the room, but then, like, I've been in some places where, like, that same thing, where it's, like, I feel a good vibe.
Yeah.
And I've been, like, where it's, like, I feel, like, a not so good vibe.
Yeah.
And it's, like, maybe that's depending on...
See, that
like,
depends on people's energy
yeah.
around you, too, but
Yeah.
if you're by yourself, then that depends on, you know, other forms of energy that, like...
Right? And that could be, like, something from the spirit or the ghost or
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know, like, how to articulate how I feel about it, because I don't personally know exactly, you know what I mean? It's one of those things I'm like, I don't think it doesn't exist, but I don't, like, necessarily think there's, like, a whole lot of overwhelming proof that there's, like, spirits roaming around either.
Like, even,
but,
like, even at work, and, like, we have 3 different buildings, and, like, the farthest building away from, like, the main area, whatever like that, down the one aisle, like, there's, like, a spot, like, right in the middle of the aisle that, like, I know I've been down there by like, I never really felt it when, like, other people are around, but, like, I've gone down there and kind of, like, I felt something. I swear, like, when I was putting something up in the racking, and I turned for a second, I swear I saw somebody in that same area that I've, like, felt those vibes before.
Yeah.
It scared the shit out of me. Like, I was, like, I got off my machine, I looked around, nobody around whatsoever, and I was, like, oh fuck, like, I swear I just seen somebody, like.
That's trippy, yeah. Yeah, like, I don't
So,
know.
I don't know, I do believe in
I do.
the spirits and the ghosts.
I do. I just don't know, like, how. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to articulate what I believe. Like, and what I think the extent is of what they're capable of. Like, I don't believe that, like, Casper the Friendly Ghost are floating around and doing all types of fucking...
See, I don't get their purpose or anything like that, because, like, it's like...
Well, it's
like,
energy,
I've never,
right?
yeah, or maybe it's just the energy. Like, I've never
energy.
seen them move anything. I've never seen them, you know, do anything, like, super crazy, like...
Yeah.
Like, yeah, move anything, or just, like...
But it's, like, the same thing
or even,
here, too,
or even
like,
touch me or anything. Like, I've never...
a lot of buildings where, like, you know, like, that have been built on, like, ancient or, like native burial grounds
Exactly.
and stuff like that, like, you know, all have a very popular consensus of fucked up shit happening at these places. And, you know, so, you know, I think to a degree, it definitely, you know, I think it's all energy, right? Like I said, like, I think there's a side to being human and, like, just a living creature that people don't...
Okay.
Just because it's not visible with your eyes, you don't think about it, but that, like, you know, isn't really explainable by science.
So I want you to break down your thought process when you name these clips. Because, like, yo, sometimes I see the clips being posted, I'm like, did we really talk about that? Like, I'm like, it makes me fucking laugh. Like, I die laughing seeing some of the names of the clips. So, like...
I feel like I gotta pull up some clip names right now.
Full clips.
And I can give you, like, the thought process behind them. But yeah, man, you know, it goes from everything. Like, you know, a good example, like, the most simple would be, like, The Rock versus Tyrese, because we were talking about their beef. But sometimes we talk about, like, you know, like, we talk about Eminem and Royce the 5'9" in the same conversation. And we're, like, talking about things we liked about each other, you know what I mean, or whatever, even if it's not a versus, but then that becomes a versus video. Or, like, when we were talking about who's hotter, Beyonce, Ashanti, or fucking Rihanna, that became a triple versus, you know what I mean? But, like, Then there's other ones like, you know, like Michael Jackson versus Beyonce. We were talking about, is she the new generation Michael Jackson?
I'm saying,
That's a
like,
versus.
you're like,
But then when they get crazy, like Will Smith going into labor.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I was like, when I seen that, I was like, whoa.
Because we were talking, I don't remember what we were
Facts
talking
me that.
about, but we were talking about something, and I said that. That was one of the last things I said in the clip before I went on to a new topic, and I'm like, I was wondering what to name it, and I'm like, Will Smith going into labor. I was like, it gets to that. You know what I mean? If you watch the clip, it gets to that point. So it's like, you know, or dragon and unicorn threesome. That one's not public yet, but.
Okay, what's that? I don't know. I don't remember which one.
Dragon and unicorn threesome. That's not public yet, so you haven't seen that get posted yet. Jerking off to birds while crying. Once again, it was just, we were talking about something.
Tears on lube?
And I said that as a joke, and then that became the name. You know, then there's like straightforward ones like Eddie G's.
Have you ever cried while, was that what we were talking about? Have you ever cried while
jerking off?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think we were talking about like the kind of porn we liked, or like I feel like we were talking about something like that, and I just like was like, I like jerking off to birds while crying, or like I just know I said that, and I was like, alright, that's the clip name. Like, that's the most, like, fucked up shock value, like, sentence said in this whole, like,
remember I was...
Head from a tranny, you know, Eddie G's mating call, that one's straightforward.
Yeah.
Bras or Snapchat filters for boobs. Pretty straightforward, you know.
Fuck me that.
Like, we're talking about something else, but it got onto that, right?
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera, bukkake. Bukkake is a common trend. Anytime we talk about any sort of bukkake...
Yeah.
Then that like is the title. Like that's like the that's like the versus thing. You know, we talk about dick sizes a lot, small dick sizes.
Yeah.
We talk about bukkakes a lot, and we talk about people versus other people, and then everything else is random. My cum is flubber. Did you see that clip?
I remember you saying that in the podcast though. I remember you saying that in the podcast.
Perfect name, right?
Yeah.
My dick bleeds.
Yo, so
Matthew McConaughey, farting on your chick, Blue Waffle, Kanye West, poking holes in condoms.
So yeah,
Tear Pugaki, cry gangbang.
Yeah, I've definitely cried while jerking off. I was a little bit heartbroken.
Youngest age you'd sleep
and
with?
I was just jerking, and I was like thinking, and I was like, this is kind of weird.
Sniffing coke off females. Reminiscing on ecstasy. Drawn on eyebrows versus unibrows.
Yeah, we killed that shit.
Is Black Dot slept on? Dick pic promo. The curse of bad boy. Sexting. Robbed at dick point.
Robbed at dick point. That was a really good one.
That's fire.
Okay, so yo, get off this.
Anal sex issues. That's what we were talking about, the fucking whatever it was called, goiting or whatever. And then I looked it up online to see how to spell it, and I couldn't find a thing online about it. I'm like, I feel like Ace just made this shit up. So I just called it anal sex issues. It's like, how the fuck do you spell goiting?
Yeah.
Either way. What were you saying, though? That you cried when you jerked off because you were really sad?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know, I was like kind of like... I was watching a porno, and like I was a little bit heartbroken at the time, and like the girl in the porno had some of a similar body to the girl, and I was like, fuck, like I was already jerking off, and I was like, fuck, like.
So your like emotions are getting to you, like you're just like trying to get it off, like
I'm like fucking.
You're holding back the tears till you come.
No, like, I cried before I came.
But you're trying not to.
I was trying not to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire. I cry while jerking off when I need lube.
Yeah.
Or there's been times where like I'm watching like a bukkake video, and like the girl just takes so many loads to her face that it just looks like she's been like covered in like wax. She's like almost looks like a figure at a wax museum, and I'm just like, and I'm like, that's so beautiful, and it just makes me tear up.
Oh, let's see if I can get a wax museum. That is so fire. The image we're gonna make for that for this clip is it's gonna be so fucking amazing. I'm gonna make a so good image for that.
Oh man.
Oh man.
But like more like a melting wax figure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like someone left the heat on too long in the museum and like Christina Aguilera is melting.
Melting.
Wish it would melt all over me.
We'll be right back in a couple minutes.
What's
Hey.
what's our time check?
Still 10 minutes.
10
No, we
minutes.
Yeah, you do.
No.
Yeah.
True story.
No, because
Fact rap.
we're gonna make you melt.
No. Christina's melting on me.
Oh.
Yo.
Alright, we're gonna keep rolling for the next 10 minutes.
Yo. Yo, if the purge was happening, what would you do? You know the movie The Purge?
Yeah, I would come in a sock and swing it at people.
So it'd be like a hard sock and you'd just be like...
Yeah.
How many times would you have to come into the sock to make it that hard?
There's a fucking purge happening. What else am I gonna do but hide out till I got my fucking hard sock that I can swing at people? And just sit there and cry all day and fucking jack
You know what that's
off.
like? You know when people do like the gift guessing games or like the candy jars where like how many jelly beans are in this, but how many times did Kelly come into the sock?
Yeah. Except no one's guessing because they're just too, like, they'd be coming up at me and be like, it's coming this sock! And be like, ah! They all be like, it's like a vampire when the fucking sunlight touches them. Their skin starts burning even though it hasn't touched them yet. I'm like, yeah, you don't want this on you, trust me.
Yeah,
Plus it's hard as a fucking rock.
Yeah, you know what's fucking, what sucks when you're going to do laundry and like you're grabbing your socks and you're getting them and then like fucking you pull one out and it's still a little bit wet and you got it on your hand.
Oh,
and you're like, oh man.
I never really had that problem because I just use toilet paper now when I jerk off or like Kleenex, something disposable, so there's no evidence. My girlfriend doesn't need to know how often I jack off.
I don't give a fuck. Like, I do my own laundry, so it's like...
When I used to live at home and like had my own crib. Yo, you want to hear a funny story actually? So one time when I was in high school, right, I had a bandana I never wore anymore, and it was my cum rag, and it had a good 6 months of cum on it. Because I'm not gonna throw it in the laundry.
Did you wash it?
What am I gonna do? Throw it in the fucking laundry with everything else? Like, hey mom, fucking don't mind the bandana. Fuck no. So it stayed under my fucking couch. And one day, fucking, I come into the fucking room that we're hanging out in right now, and one of my friends is playing with his bandana, and I'm like, yo, I wouldn't fucking touch that. And they're like, why? And then I just looked at them, and they like, it took them like 30 seconds of process. He's like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, you went and just grabbed a fucking random bandana you found sitting under my fucking couch, fam. But yeah, since them times, I haven't really kept anything, you know. And even like socks I would use as a kid, like I wasn't gonna throw that in with the laundry when like my mom did my laundry till I moved out. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I wasn't, you know, anything I ever used for that went in the garbage when I could dispose of it without it being seen.
I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, now I just use
I
toilet
feel like
paper.
if you had a bandana lying around the house with 6 months worth of jizz on it.
Well, I either use.
It's not even the fact that you're jerking off, it's the fact that you're jerking off into the same thing for 6 months and
Oh,
still...
it was crispy.
You had a relationship with it.
It was crispy.
Yeah?
It was like. It was like starchy. It was very starchy.
It started looking like a Krispy Kreme donut.
No, it was just very starchy. Like it was like, you know how like a bandana is like, you know, it's soft.
Yeah.
Like no, this thing was like folded out and it didn't flop like this. Like it was like it was very starchy. And that's the way we'll leave that off.
Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, we're coming up on the last part of the podcast. So let's talk about this DeRozan trade. Is that am I saying his name right? DeRozan?
Yeah.
Rosen, yeah.
Yeah, so I find like
people are mad about this.
a lot of people are mad about it. And like the player they got is he's a very good player, and like I think I've heard a lot of things about him. I think he's probably a better player, but I heard
He's been injured for a year.
But he doesn't even want to play in Toronto. I heard.
And he's a free agent after this year.
There's a plan of him going to LA with LeBron. That's what I heard.
But the thing is, too, he has to perform, or else when he's a free agent, no one's going to want to buy him.
Right,
He's just been off a year with an injury. Now, if he doesn't come back and perform...
And I find like even like the trade for DeRozan, like sure we got swept against LeBron, but LeBron just went to the West, and that was the only thing that stopped Toronto. What was LeBron in the East? So now that LeBron's on the West, who knows? Like even with like the team that they had with DeRozan, they could have went to the East Finals because they were number one in the Eastern Conference, and now LeBron's not in the Eastern Conference, so like with the team they had, and they said they got rid of the coach that was like supposed to be really good too. It's like they just fucked up. Like with LeBron leaving that side, like they could have been the. See,
I didn't even realize that with LeBron.
East.
I don't follow basketball like that tightly, but it's the only sport I even give.
But with that, Toronto could have took the East with that. You know?
I feel like there had to be some strategy planned out behind it. It was a gamble, though.
Well, there's a lot of hype behind this player. Like,
yeah. There is.
And he's supposed to be really good. So...
There was a whole thing, the president of the Raptors actually went out on like a press conference or whatever.
And he apologized to him?
For like a miscommunication and everything today. It was all over the news, and they're going on about how like basketball players need to be like recognized and remembered the same way as like other athletes, and like DeRozan's one of them because of the amount of like years and like what he put into the Raptors and like what he like contributed to them. So it's a huge blow up right now.
Yeah.
Well, he did. Like, DeRozan really carried that team and made them, like, talk-worthy. But, you know, at the same time, like, they have the opportunity to go from a good team to a great team. But, you know, I don't know. At the end of the day...
They were a good enough team to get to the playoffs, but they were never, like, a good enough team to get beyond the first round of the playoffs.
But DeRozan took them there.
Yeah,
like, even with Vince Carter, did they hit, like, the playoffs?
I think first round. I think they were out first round.
Yeah. Vince Carter was dope, but like...
True. Fax me that.
But, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's like... It's business, man, at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's like anything else. It's like, you know, when record labels mattered, you wouldn't put too much faith in your fucking record label. It's like the same with the team. Like, don't put too much faith in... You know, you have to because it's your team, but... At the same time, like, you can't, you know what I mean? Like, you can't look at it like it's a final stop. Like,
yeah,
even Jordan left the Bulls.
Yeah, I even find, like, that was a huge fuck up. And, like, if you look at, like, I'm not really too big on sports now, but I realize that most of the key players in the NBA now are in the Western Conference. Like, all the big players that are... And all the super teams are now starting to become in the Western Conference. So, like... Raptors were... in the regular season last year, they were number one in the East. LeBron's not in the East no more. They should have kept the same team and went for it.
But then when they go to the West, then they're still screwed.
They're screwed regardless against the West teams.
But...
Especially with Golden State.
But see, this is what I think. Like, I think this was their chance of trying to make an opportunity where they aren't. This is the first time they really have like a star player.
No. It's like Jordy let go from the Packers. It's like you have to let your big people go to make room for the salary cap to bring other people in to rebuild it, like the Leafs, like anybody. Like, you have to kind of like get rid of those key players to bring in new blood.
Yeah, well, as a losing team, you do.
No, even as a winning team or like an okay team or like a mediocre team, like if it's not working over like
teams
the past
with the greatest
3 years,
runs
though,
generally don't do that. Like Kobe always played for the Lakers. Jordan played for the Bulls for the good part of his career. Well, actually, I was incorrect because when he left the Bulls is when he left basketball.
He retired.
And then he came back and then played for the Wizards and sucked balls.
Well, he retired once and played baseball and then came back to the Bulls.
Oh, he came back to the Bulls before the Wizards.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and that's Dirty 30.
Dirty 30.
Yo. Yo.
Nurple.
No condom though.
I'm actually gonna start wearing condoms.
No, you're not.
We're gonna cut that part.
I'll cut them off.
Is that rolling?
Eh.
And bang.